Hi, sorry, let's wait for it. Hi, and welcome to the Thinking Out Loud podcast, a show with meaningful conversations in English with fantastic English users. With me here is Masha.
Hi, and with me here is Jedrek.
I wanted to test your reactions. I want to test your reactions. Are you?
Thank you. They are sharp. No,
Great.
not really.
Why not? Yeah, having recorded 80, sorry, not 80, not yet 80, 78, I think, episodes.
Mhm.
Well, we can allow ourselves a little improvisation.
As if not every episode is an improvisation.
And we are two English teachers who
I think, are you struggling with this month? January is the grace month. So can I say that we're two English teachers who are struggling to
you
go
mean a
through the
dry January
winter? Dry? When
without
you have a
alcohol.
dry. Oh, no. I mean,
Sorry,
it's
but
the worst time of the year, honestly. The
it's
most
my
difficult.
birthday. January is my
No,
birthday.
not 7th of
All right.
but the second half of January and
Yeah,
February.
I mean, you mean
Do you feel?
psychologically?
Yes.
It's I think a scientific fact
Yeah.
that it's hard. Yes,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
all the effects of December and everything are on the wane. Plus, the stock market is plummeting. So on top of
Can't
everything.
believe you're talking about stock market.
All right. I was thinking for a second, I was asked today, what kind of podcasts am I listening to? And I started listing, and after, listing, I don't know, 5 or 6, because I just went to, this notification button, whatever, with the new episodes that come up each day. And I listed 5 or 6, and I was asked, is there anything funny that you listen to? And I
Oh,
was like, "No, God damn it. I'm listening to news, and news in English, in Polish, in Spanish, news.
you
And
listen
I
to
said,
news in Spanish?
yeah, I listened to a very nice podcast, by the way. It's El Mundo. This is
The
a journal.
world?
Yes. Yes, exactly. The
I
world.
speak
You know
Spanish.
Spanish.
Okay.
Exactly. And it's nice, but wait a second, it's serious. It's serious. And then all the other podcasts that I listen to, it's economics, it's some stuff that is
You are a very
geopolitics.
serious man. Yeah.
I'm a very serious man, and I was surprised, because it's not who I want to be.
But that's
And
who you
suddenly,
are.
yeah, but I realized that I actually use podcasts just to get informed, and not really to have fun so much. So you see, this is the medium I'm using. This particular medium, podcasts. I'm using it to. Apparently, I didn't even realize this, but I'm using it to get informed and to be up to date with the news. Given that I don't really watch TV, the news on TV, just from time to time, but the French news, the news on the French TV are very specific. It's mostly weather forecast, or rather, not the forecast, but reporting on what happened in the weather. Like, there was a flooding in the north, there was a strong wind in the west, snow fell in the east, and it was quite sunny in the south.
But what is your idea of a podcast where you have fun? I mean, is this podcast, you would say people listen for
I
fun?
was, I don't know, I think we may walk this thin line of being serious and being clowns.
Yeah, but
I don't
fun
know.
doesn't necessarily mean that it's funny. You know that, of course.
You mean like, yeah, I know that. Look at the bag that is behind me. There was a conference in Barcelona a few years back, devoted only to this. What is fun in language learning? Where's the fun, and what is actually fun in learning? And I don't think we reached any serious conclusion there. But yeah, you're right. I mean, so apparently it's fun listening to the news. I mean, my podcasts. I do it because
no, I
it's
really can't even produce this combination,
news
one
and fun.
sentence. Yeah. No.
Apart from the French TV, this is where they actually manage
Okay.
to
Managed
marry
to.
the two, except you don't get any news.
I
But
guess, when it comes to our podcast, I think it depends on how you approach it. And you told me yourself that you said that you said it in the sense that people don't know how to listen to whatever podcast or something. But some people may approach it as, I'm going to study English.
yeah, listen
To
and
listen,
understand. And if I don't understand,
I
I go
pause,
back.
I
Yeah.
rewind, I copy, whatever I find interesting. Some people just listen and just listen, Oh, I did something today. I listened to something in English and it was fun. Because I hope that there are people who do it like this, and for them it's fun. We managed to crack a joke or two, usually.
Poor ones, but yeah.
uh,
Yeah, I think it's I'll tell
but
you
again,
now
it may be
my
fun not without jokes. That's what was trying to say. Fun doesn't necessarily mean funny.
so give me like one example
Well,
of
again,
fun without jokes.
I remember this. Again, I'm coming back to it looks like I'm promoting this show on my show, which is terrible. But
It's
this
Ezra?
show, yeah, and he had an episode with this wolf, Reader Come Home. It was
All right.
such fun
Marianne
to
Wolf, by
listen
the
to
way,
it.
people, I recommend the book, Reader Come Home. After reading this book, you can somehow understand the importance of reading, and how important it is for our brain, for our civilization, even. So it's fantastic. Sorry,
So of
there was
course, when
Marianne
there is
Wolf
an
on the show.
episode, when there is an episode on, Israel, Gaza, it's not fun. I have to listen very, closely, pay attention, always try and, understand, because also I need to understand the background, which I was not very good at, to be honest. But this episode, it's the first episode that comes to mind. There was nothing funny there. It's not that they laughed all the time, but it was really fun to listen to. So what is this fun? I don't know.
It was
really
fun because
enjoyed.
it
I
evoked
enjoyed.
because it was fun because it evoked some nice feelings in you, like you felt. I think this is sometimes when you uncover some truth, this is where
Maybe
you feel
when you uncover
satisfaction,
truth.
and
Yeah.
satisfaction is very close to fun, because fun is, I think, the purpose of fun is to bring satisfaction, right? And this is maybe, Masha, what you mean. You simply get satisfaction out of listening, and you call it fun, but it's not exactly fun in the sense like it's lighthearted. It's
No, it was far from lighthearted, but she's such a passionate
exactly.
She's very passionate about this, about what she does. And this is it is contagious in a way, and after this you are like, yes, I'm going to do this more and more. And that was fun.
And it was fun. Yeah. I mean, fun has lots of faces, seems like,
Yeah.
And again, I will not discover America here by saying this, but it's
Yeah, a lot of people call, watching horror movies fun.
yeah, exactly.
So
Exactly. They do it for fun, right? Yeah, or riding a roller coaster
yeah, this was a
in
question once, remember? Does entertainment have to be fun?
yeah.
So
Yeah. So
does
exactly.
it?
Yeah, that fun. I think it's it's kind of the more I think about fun, the more I think it's like a word like nice. You can use it anytime, everywhere. It's so broad. Everything can be nice. It can be a nice person. It can be also a nice game or whatever. A nice horror.
Fun.
Yeah, a nice fun. Oh yeah, that was a nice fun.
How did we even get here to fun?
Masha, because you didn't answer or you didn't complete the two teachers who,
And I said, who
that's
was
the problem.
struggling through winter?
Well, sorry, didn't listen to
Yeah.
you.
And then
All
you
right.
said scientifically it's proven, and then
Yeah,
stock
you're right. Sorry.
market.
Yeah, and then
Okay, let's not
how
go
did
back.
we end up talking
I
about
don't know.
fun?
I don't
All
know.
right. Anyway. Yeah. My winter is particularly hard, with plus 19 on Wednesday. It's forecasted,
Yeah, we all hate you.
Can you imagine this plus 19 in
No,
January?
no, no.
It's an anomaly.
I
It's an
cannot
anomaly.
imagine that.
All right. I'll be strolling in my t-shirt to work.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Fine. It's time perhaps to remind everybody who hasn't dropped off yet to sign up to our newsletter.
We are launching a newsletter.
We are launching a newsletter. Yes. What is a newsletter, Masha? What comes to your mind when you think newsletter?
Depends on who sends it.
All right. To me, newsletter is boring stuff sent to my mail at regular intervals.
Very often it's
that
somebody
I
is
very
trying to
often
sell
delete.
me something through storytelling. This is already driving me crazy. And I already identify, okay, he's telling me a story. And I'm like, oh, really? Are you really following this pattern? And then at the end, it will be, so you start with your own experience, then somehow you match or with kind of trying to, for it to appeal to me. And then when you find this, you try and sell something.
Which leads me to a fantastic idea, Masha. We could be selling our courses, English lessons through the newsletter.
I think we should say upfront, we are not going to be selling anything.
Yes.
Promise
we are
me.
going. Yeah, I promise you. I mean,
Okay.
I'm such a non-commercial person. I'm so bad at selling that even if I tried, I would probably fail.
Says a
So,
person with how many master's degree in economics or whatever you have in
what?
economics?
Just one.
Oh, okay, just one.
So I've got 3 masters. It's true altogether, but just one in economics.
Okay.
All right. Sorry. Let's see. So the newsletter, I recommend everybody, you can sign up on our website, tolpodcast.com. We are joking a bit with Masha, but the truth is we don't know what the newsletter will look like because we haven't written even a word yet, or maybe I started writing something. But I must tell you that it's going to be, at least from my side, because we are planning to divide it into like Masha's newsletter, Jedrek's newsletter, kind of, so that we don't have to write each week, but at least once a fortnight. But Fortnite is a beautiful game, by the way. But I just wanted to say that there are going to be some personal stories or at least personal reflections, something that you won't find neither on social media nor on our website anywhere. So it's going to be, I would say, intimate, intimate, even though it's not going to be about, Masha, what you said about our breakfast, unless we can actually include that part. What have we eaten this week or whatever?
It's like when you are when you admire or even obsessed, when you become a fanatic of some person and you want to understand what is it like, why are they so successful, it might help to analyze what they eat for breakfast.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's the secret.
All right, great. But we are, I mean,
not that we are successful, of course.
Yeah, exactly. But
so
we do
nobody
have some
wants to know.
fans, don't we? Yes.
We do hardcore fans.
All right, so
say hi to our fans.
Yes. Anyway, sign up for the newsletter. Enough talking about this, tolpodcast.com. And if you scroll a bit down, there you're going to see a blue section called newsletter. So leave us your email and we'll start sending soon, but I can't say exactly when. we are not a corporation that has some, strict deadlines. Okay.
We will be sitting and waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yes. So far, by the way, we don't have like an avalanche of the emails left there. So the more people sign up, the more incentive we have to actually post or
But it's
send.
not going to stop us, is it?
It's not going to stop us. Yeah, it's
We're
not.
unstoppable.
Even if there was, 5 is already a lot, So yeah.
Comparing to summer school, oh my gosh,
it's 500% more. It's 500% more. All right. Great. Is it actually time, Masha, to move to the so-called thinking out loud proper? That is the name of our show, right? Thinking out loud. And so far, there wasn't, hasn't been
thinking.
a lot of thinking. It was just blabbing.
But there's always thinking going on, not out loud, right?
You think so?
I hope. Yeah.
That's a very good question, whether we actually think all the time or not. Depends on what you mean by thinking, because
no, we don't think all the time, because the brain, the brain's function is to make sure that you function efficiently, which means with the minimum required energy. So many things the brain does on autopilot once you've developed, a habit or whatever, and you don't actually do any thinking. That's very interesting.
So what happens? Like, what is it? I mean,
what is
and these
it?
are the moments, I think. Yeah, these are the moments we sort of switch off, and it's quite easy to fool us. You know what I mean? Like
this as well. Yeah.
We are not being mindful. Is that it?
Yeah, we are not being mindful. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't know what's actually happening, even though you're walking down the street, but you have no idea where you are or what's happening around you. That's why I know a pickpocket can steal your wallet or something.
Yeah, or some things you just let's say an example. I mean, you hear loud bang. You're sitting in your home and you hear loud bang. It really depends. If you live in Ukraine, you will definitely be, alarmed. But if you live, I don't know, in Manosk, your brain will probably think, aha, it's somebody,
Yeah, you're right.
Fireworks.
I mean, that is also, that is, the case of auto alarms. And they don't work anymore. I mean, it's like every now and then, I hear an alarm. Who's even paying attention? Where's the car? What's happening around it? There could be people smashing it with a crowbar, and you wouldn't even react.
Really?
I think. I mean, it's just another car alarm. It's like, okay, who cares? So I wonder what's the function of car alarms these days, anyway. I mean, they definitely don't draw attention of anybody anywhere.
You don't have an alarm?
I don't think so. I don't even know. No, probably not.
You don't know if your car is equipped with an alarm or not?
No. Hasn't sounded even one time, so I believe I don't have one. Unless it's a default function and all cars have it. All modern cars have it.
But when you were buying it, didn't it occur to you to ask?
No.
Okay. That's what life in Manosk is like.
It's not Manosk, because one of my cars, the old Volkswagen Beetle from 2004, she's 20 years old. She's turning 20 years old. I don't know which month, but definitely this year. She's 20. She's turning 20. Well, I know we came here in that car, this old Volkswagen Beetle. I still have it. I'm still driving it. Of course.
Oh.
Love it. I love the car. But we've got two cars now, we've got also a second car, but this one, that's my favorite, I will never sell it. Never, ever, Yeah.
Okay.
So, but
and you have no idea if it has
probably not. Come on, I have been driving it since 2015, I think. So, I don't
Okay.
think it had. I don't think she is equipped with auto alarm. Oh yeah, there was even one time someone smashed the window, and stole my backpack.
So yeah, it's very likely that it's not equipped with an alarm.
Stupid fool, You know what was inside that backpack? There were notes, There were notes, my notes from lessons,
Oh,
Fool. Maybe he learned some vocab.
so somebody was left without feedback.
Yeah, someone was left without feedback, Sorry for that. Okay, great. With that little digression, let's move to what is famously known as
Round 1.
Right. Sorry, the gong hit.
Yeah.
Right.
It's actually round 2 of the last episode.
Oh, sorry.
Round 2.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Fine, let's go. Masha, I'm waiting impatiently for your question because last week we didn't manage to go to round 2. So what is it?
We actually touched upon it, and it's something I'm
Is
thinking.
it political?
Unfortunately, yes. It's something I'm thinking about a lot right now. And actually, a lot of people are waking up to this difference. So in Ukraine, at least. So what is the difference between population and citizens?
Whoa. This is not political. This is sociological question or citizens. Yeah, I think it's sorry to if that so I'm sorry if I answer your question in 1 minute and then the whole nation has been struggling for weeks, and then one wise guy comes and and answers everything. But I think that the population is basically the sum of people living in a certain area, right? And the citizens are the people with certain documents proving
We
their
usually, when we
citizenship.
talk about population, let's say of the country, we count only citizens.
Yeah,
So
which is
we presume
weird,
that they
right?
have that they have papers.
The papers, yeah, they
And
have their
citizens
ID
have
or
papers.
their passports, yeah.
So.
Yeah. And so, I mean, so where's the catch? If the population, because each population, I think, most of them at least, consist of people who are natives, who are the citizens of certain
Not necessarily natives.
country.
I'm
Not
not a
necessarily
native.
natives, but oh yeah, you're right. But then at least people with documents proving their nationality, or well, I'm thinking because you could also be a citizen of Warsaw or Kiev or Marseille, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily a citizen.
Not really.
A citizen. What?
No, you say citizen
of course.
Yeah, but in the meaning that you have.
So how do you call the people living in Marseille? The Marseillais.
Marseillans.
Marseillians.
Oh,
They are the citizens or the citizens of Marseille or the citizens.
Yeah, but I mean citizens, meaning that you have a citizenship of a certain country. Not like this, not residents.
But why is there city in the name?
Yeah, very interesting.
Citizen, not
well, because
first or countryzen.
First, what were they called? Police. They
yeah,
were.
in
they
Greece.
were. Yeah, they were. They were cities, but they were states. And
yeah,
this is,
they
I
were
think,
city
where
states, kind of.
they
okay, you're right.
came from.
This is where this word originates. Maybe it was a city, and so. But then, okay, but still, it doesn't make the question too overly complicated.
Because, so you don't think that there's something about how or even whether you exercise your rights as a citizen? Because I used to be just population, I always said, I'm apolitical, and I wore it as a badge of honor, But now I understand that because a lot of people think that they can. Well, the argument is usually, why do I have to spend so much time and put so much effort and work into this, let's call it political life of my forever country, if I'm just an artist or I'm just a baker, why should I care? Let somebody else. But then you end
But
up
you
in
do
this.
it for the benefits, I guess, that come with the possession of certain papers, right? Otherwise, no one would care. Look at me. I am a Pole living in France, and so I am, let's say, part of the population. I'm not a
You
citizen
would
of
say
France.
you would, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, since I am a member of the European, Poland is a member of the European Union, and so my liberties here are pretty much the same like they are in Poland, meaning that I can work legally, I can stay for how
But you
long I
cannot
want,
vote.
I can buy property. I cannot vote at the national level, so I cannot vote for the president, but I can vote at the very at the lowest level. I can vote for the town mayor.
Wow, that's great. I think that's really
Not that I have
good.
ever voted, but because
You never
I'm not
voted.
into. No, I never voted here. I vote in the Polish elections, but I never voted here because it's not like really into what's happening here. I'm more like I feel like a guest.
Why do you vote in Polish elections? You keep voting even though you don't live there.
Yeah.
So
I
why
mean,
you
I
care?
keep coming
Because
back
it takes at least time to go on this particular day somewhere, and I'm sure for you it's not that easy. You have to go to the embassy or something like that, to the consulate.
No, I mean it's actually it's not that no, I wouldn't call this effort insurmountable.
Yeah,
Well, you drive
but
45 minutes and then you wait in the queue for half an hour. Okay,
but
voted.
still 45 minutes and 45 minutes and then half an hour.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, many people could say this is too much for me. Sorry,
And
stuff
it doesn't really directly affect you, at least your well-being right now while you are
Yeah,
living in
yeah,
France. So
you're
why
right.
do you keep doing that?
Why do I keep voting? It's a good question, but as a holder of so many diplomas, a civilized man as I am, I just know
You feel that
I
it's your
cherish,
obligation?
I feel it's my obligation. Yes, I'm an adult person, a Polish person. Of course, I'm not living in Poland, but come on, let's
Do
be
you
honest.
identify yourself as a
I'll be
Pole?
back. I'll be back sooner or later. I mean, it may take 3 years, 5 years from now, but I'll probably be back. So I treat my séjour in France as a temporary thing. So yeah, I'm voting. I feel that it is my duty. And I think everybody in democracy should, I guess, go and vote, because that's what makes the system better, right? Because if only the lazy slobs are voting because they were promised, something, then the results of the elections are kind of derailed because the participation was low.
Well,
But
that's what I see, happening right now in Ukraine. Many people are waking up to the fact that they actually citizens, and they have, of course, they have obligations. They have their duties as citizens, like you go and serve in the army right now, or you do this or that, and then there are
that's the other
also
side of the
rights.
coin. Yeah.
And then how we see. Not see, but how we talk about the corruption as well. Because usually it's like, okay, we have this corrupt government, but everybody knows that only the government is corrupt. That's how and we don't identify ourselves with this government. But it's, it's known that every nation deserves the government they have. And again, this this attitude people have, or maybe, I don't know, way of thinking that, I'm just a small person. I cannot influence on anything. But they don't realize that corruption, it starts basically from you. Every time you, let's say, our healthcare system is notoriously corrupt. I don't know how about in Poland, but healthcare is supposed to be free. But when you are, God forbid, find yourself in hospital, you will be charged, not charged, but you will be told that, well, we don't get funding or something like that. And if you want to be treated, you need to, provide.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm it's been a long time since I was hospitalized, but I think generally the problem with free healthcare is that it is free just in theory, but in practice you have to pay and go the so-called private path, because otherwise you have to wait like 2 hours for a simple 2 hours, 2 years.
For a simple
Did I say 2
surgery.
hours? Yeah, for a simple surgery or a procedure, whatever it is, so it's because there's a limited number of places or slots for patients, and patients always.
But then what happens, even okay, you pay for medicines, but then when the doctor, let's say, performs an operation, then it is like unspoken rule that you have to thank the doctor after after the operation. And I was in this situation myself when my son had his appendix removed. And after this surgery, I was standing near the doctor's, room together with another woman, also a mother of a child. And I was waiting for him because he was, after the surgery, he would, talk to you and to tell you how it went and, stuff like that. And we were waiting for him together, and she asked me, do you know how much it costs? And I say, it costs nothing. First of all, it's an emergency, and secondly, healthcare is free. And she said, no, it usually costs something. And so I was kind of already prepared that I will be asked for something. And of course, he did ask me in a very, not polite way, something along the lines that if you want to thank me, this is the good time. And I said, thank you, and left the room. And then I talked to this woman, because she did pay. And I asked her why. And usually, I ask many people when I, started thinking about it, why do you pay doctors? Why do you pay teachers? And the argument is usually, well, that these people pay work for, I don't know, for nothing. And
low
he
salary.
saved your child's life. Don't you? I mean, you will begrudge whatever this money.
Don't
for
you
you.
feel gratitude?
And this, this manipulation, this children, everything for the children. And then I'm thinking, yeah, but okay, the situation will never change because the doctors, yes, I agree, the doctors are treated, absolutely, it's atrocious how much they get paid. But instead of taking matters in their own hands and go on strike, for example, they will never do that because they get money from, from patients.
From that.
So you're feeding this corruption, and very often, sometimes you would do this because it's for children. And sometimes you would do that because it's just easier than holding somebody accountable, and this is where corruption starts. Not there, it starts from you. And when you realize
but
this,
it's a pity it starts there, because suddenly, all we, the small ones, we are responsible for feeding that beast.
Yeah.
Even though we just want to get things done in the proper way,
But this is the moment when you have this choice, you may continue being just population, or you realize that you have certain rights, and you
from
choose
that. Okay, so you I see that, so you actually consider the population as people who don't execute their rights as citizens.
Yeah, rights
That
and
would
duties as well. I mean, right
and
now I'm
duties
just
as
talking
well.
about rights.
All right. Oh, okay. I thought it's a
Because
purely
one might
formal.
think, oh, duty is serious, but exercising rights
Yeah.
sometimes very often requires effort, time,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
nerve
I
cells.
thought I before you even highlighted this situation, I thought it's a purely technical thing, like population versus citizens, because obviously they overlap, but citizens are basically the people with papers, but these papers, I get. But isn't that, Masha, actually not? It's not about papers. It's about some kind of a moral compass, or I'm speaking about this case of corruption, but I'm not so sure
No, it's
about
a moral
being called
compass,
up.
but papers give you certain rights. Like, for example, in our constitution says that healthcare is free. And if
Yeah,
you're a
yeah.
citizen, you have this right. And you need to, you can demand it.
Yes.
So it's not, of course, it's usually about the moral choice, like you pay the bribe or you don't pay the bribe. When the police officer stops you for speeding, it's much easier to simply, pay the bribe than face some other consequences. So in the end, yes, you always make this choice. But I mean, when you pay a doctor this sweetener, it doesn't feel like you're being immoral. It feels it's even scarier because it feels as if you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, because but there's some sort of an emotional blackmail, like
Yeah.
with these children, like you said, these
Yeah.
children, and you express your gratitude. um it's actually quite funny, I think what you are saying right now about doctors, also policemen and so on. I'm not sure about the state of corruption in Poland right now, but I think it has been curbed down dramatically over the past years. I can't even imagine, being stopped by a policeman today in Poland, and handing in some kind of banknotes, somewhere.
I
It's
thought you can't imagine being
impossible.
stopped by a police officer in Poland. And I wanted to ask you,
No,
you never speed?
no. I mean, I try to drive in line with the regulations, but sometimes, but the point is that I can't imagine just even attempting, a
Offering, yeah.
bribery. But maybe it's me. Maybe there are people who do it. I don't know. But I think the same is in the problem with the healthcare in my country is rather that since it is free, that is funded by taxpayers money, then it's super inefficient. And at the same time, you can let's take this magnetic resonance. It's something I had, this imagining, when you want to see what's inside the body, whether it's broken or whatever. I had a problem with my knee. I had an injury while playing basketball, and then I had to have this imagining done. And is it an imaging? What the hell is that?
MRI.
Imaging. MRI, yeah, whatever. MRI. What is imaging? I guess whatever.
Okay.
But the point is that
If anybody from among our listeners know, please drop us a line. What is the correct?
drop us a line if you know how to say that, how to pronounce
Thank
that. Again, we are English users. We are not. No, wait, we are English teachers.
Sorry,
But
bastard.
yeah, but the point is that if I wanted to go this official, sorry, the if I wanted to do it for free, I'd have to wait for the scan. I don't know how long, like 1 year, or several months, which
Oh
is
my God.
bizarre, because you need to know now and not in
You
several
won't even
months.
need to know in a
Yeah.
year.
So basically, and then you go to a private institution, clinic that offers such scans, and you have it in 1 hour. It's like this. All you have to do is you have to pay something. Can't remember. I paid something like 600 Polish zloty, which is in dollars, that would be maybe well, divided by 4. You can do the math.
Okay.
All right, but
I'm not going to.
all right. $150, $150 maybe.
That's expensive. Wow.
It's expensive, but you do it and you have it now, So I think this is the case of the majority of more costly things, like using technology like this.
Yeah, but this is a little bit different. Your right is not violated here.
No,
It's
it's
just
not.
that this
It's
is
not.
how it is.
Yeah.
You just have to,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there are
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of.
But
You
can either
are,
accept it,
but when you
wait,
are told that this is what is expected, of you,
yeah,
that the payment is expected, or when, for example, I don't want to shock people with how things are in Ukraine, but let's say for school, let's say a school, your child goes to school or daycare, whatever. And of course, you want your child to be in a nice room with good chairs, with good desk, with, everything you would like. And guess what? Somebody has to pay for it. And usually, who do you think does it?
The parents?
Yes.
But wait a second. Are we talking about a public school?
Yes.
That has different classrooms? I mean, ones that look better and ones that look worse?
Yes.
Oh my God, it goes as far as that.
Yes.
All right. And then, but I don't get it. I like, let's say
it is
got
the city. It's supposed to be, it's funded by the city. It's the public school.
Yeah.
So it is somehow, as far as I see, the principal of the school must every year report to whoever, that people, we need, these rooms need, repairs, or these rooms need this and that. And the city will provide the money. Where does the money come from? From parents who pay taxes.
Yeah.
But it
are
doesn't work like this.
It
doesn't work like this. We pay taxes, and then what happens? Well, it's for your children. Can you imagine your child spends the biggest part of his
the
life
blackmail,
there?
it comes
Yes, it's emotional blackmail. And of course, parents just, it's like, what is it called? Like donation to the school. And this is how it happens. So what happens? The city doesn't get any requests from principals, so they think that probably everything is fine, and everything is funded by parents. And when you can imagine what would happen if I told, we have these parents chats in different messengers, if I said that maybe we should write a letter somewhere, that something is not being done. Come on, it's, our country, how it works in our country. It's not going to get you anywhere, and your children will be suffering all this time. Let's just do it. You don't have this money or what for your children? Okay, ladies, usually ladies. So
well, I think right now how difficult it is to break away from this vicious circle, because
it's difficult, but
it has to be done, Masha, like you said, at the very local level.
Yes.
With individuals, not
individuals. Yes.
I mean, of course, if let's say if the top is honest and and resistant to bribery and so on, then do you think that by paying more, because the lack of funding, because I know who's actually benefiting the most from it, the middle level that is charging both from the taxpayers and from the private pockets, or is it actually the top who keep the taxpayers' money and they don't redistribute it later to schools, hospitals, and so on? It's very, but the bottom line is, like you say, that to break away from that, it takes each and every individual who's got lots of problems already on their head, to add even more problems to their basket.
But it
it's
starts with this simple realization that you are a citizen of this country. You have these
yeah,
rights, you need to.
yeah,
Yes, in some countries it's already, very, very smooth, and your rights are
mhm,
kind of, I don't know, it's not that you exercise them, but everything works like clockwork. But in
mhm,
other countries which are only, at the beginning of this journey of, building a democratic state, this is what
mhm,
it takes. But
yeah,
what, again, this line of thinking, oh, this country, nothing works here, you know how it is, it's better to move to France, let's say, where
yeah,
grass is greener, you get, welfare or whatever.
mhm.
And then what, you come
90
there and you
degrees in January.
use the benefits. I mean, people at some point struggled to get this kind of life. They
Hmm.
built it, and you just want
Yeah,
to come there and enjoy all the benefits. What kind of thinking is that? Isn't it corrupt thinking?
yeah. By the way, I heard, and I think it's pretty much true. That the mature democracies are not free from corruption, of course, but the corruption happens at a
Yeah,
totally different level.
totally different level.
And
Yes.
it's somehow, we are talking big business. We are talking about some lobbyists. Corruption that is done in white gloves.
Yeah.
But at least this daily life, like again, institutions that you get in touch with, like schools, hospitals, and so on. I think they are pretty much free from this sort of troubles, because it is once again also the pressure from the citizens on
Yeah.
the municipality or
Yeah.
whatever, local government, to do this, do that, fix the road or
Yeah.
redecorate the school.
It's like this way of thinking. We give them power and then we forget about them, and we will remember only, when there's another election. But you give them power, you hold them accountable, because power corrupts. Unlimited. What is it? Power corrupts. Power corrupts. Do you know this saying? Oh, it's a nice
I know
saying.
only Spider-Man's, with big power comes big responsibility.
Mm. Oh, I'll find it.
All right, check it out.
Something. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Oh yeah.
That's a nice saying.
Yeah.
So you have to
All
hold
right.
people accountable.
Masha, I don't know what time is it. We have to wrap up somehow,
We have to wrap up.
right?
Yeah.
Because we don't want to bore our listeners to death. I know you are not bored. I know we keep you entertained, but
Yeah, I'm very passionate about it because it's something I'm thinking about a lot right
it's
now.
great.
And a
I
lot
mean,
of
but Masha,
people,
it's I can't stress it enough that even by asking this question first, when I heard it, was like, what the hell? It's super simple. I mean, you've got people with documents and people who happen to live in a certain area, but they cannot vote, like myself, for example, right? They can't vote or whatever, because I'm just here more or less like a visitor. And I think there are plenty of people like that, especially where I am, because of this international project going on and so on. So there are plenty of people who make up the local population, right? But we are not citizens in the sense that we don't have mostly the
your
voting.
residents.
But wait a sec. Well, wait a second. I actually have the so-called carte vitale. I pay the insurance here. I'm an entrepreneur in France,
Mhm.
and I pay my healthcare premium. It's kind of integrated with the status of being an entrepreneur. And actually, if I ever need a hospital treatment or just simple visit to the doctor, it actually I get covered by the French system. It's not like it's they return around. Yeah, because you still need additional private insurance if you want to be covered fully, but they return something like 80%.
Actually, you don't have to have the paper, the passport, because right, I'm also not a citizen of this country, but I enjoy
Mhm.
most, like you said, liberties, rights. except for, very few like vote and something else. So
Mhm.
I also have the right to free healthcare, so I can demand it.
All right. Yeah, yeah.
So it
So,
means
so,
that
but
it means your relationship with the state, basically.
yeah,
You
but it
understand that
totally.
it's
But yeah, but if you think just a little bit about what is citizenship, what does it mean to be a citizen, then I fell into this trap first, but now I know it's not just about voting. Come on, I mean, voting is
yeah,
just one element of it. I mean, and very, very small. It happens every 5 or 4 years, depending on or whatever is the system. But basically, it's also your daily decisions. This is where you act as a citizen and not just as a population, right? That follows, blindly certain, I don't know, paths. Very nice distinction, and it needs definitely, or it merits reflection.
it
This is where
needs
it
a
all starts.
newsletter.
It needs a newsletter, exactly. So great. Thanks, Masha. Thanks so much for giving me this moment of reflection, and also opening my eyes to things I wouldn't think about, without your
Living in
questions.
the
So
south of France, come on.
living in the south of France, having 19 degrees in
Stop
January.
it. Stop it.
And I say plus 19, Masha, not minus.
Oh, really?
So okay, great. Thanks for everything here, for this moment of, should I say, fun? Because I had fun, and that was actually quite educational. So I don't know, it was actually fun.
For once, something educational coming from me. So if people
Nice.
want to read something about, citizenship or life in France, 19 degrees in January, they can what? They can do what?
Subscribe to our newsletter.
Yeah.
Exactly. We
Please
can't
do.
we can't stop reminding you people, but once again, there's only a handful of you who have signed up so far. So we are not being
No,
pushed. We're not
no.
pushing
If
you.
you
We're
want
not
to
pushing
be
you.
among these 500% of
Yeah,
growth, or
exactly.
how
Exactly. If you
should I
want to
put
be
it?
among the chosen ones, sign up, and so you're gonna get
It's a matter of framing. Come on, don't.
intimate stories from Jendrek and Masha, including
Yeah.
what we had for breakfast.
Okay.
All right, great. So with that being said,
This was another episode of the Thinking Out Loud podcast. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye, everyone.
bye-bye.